Okay, thank you very much, Saiful, Suhaila, and
Sama-sama.
NC Full Time, okay, for giving us this opportunity to share what we know. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about how to speak English with confidence. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to share with you some stories. I'm going to share with you some strategies that I hope that by end of this sharing, you'll be able to benefit from what I share today, right?
Awesome. So without
Okay,
further
and
ado,
oh,
Please,
mute
please.
ke? Tak mute kan?
Huh?
Okay, can listen to me, right?
Yes, can.
I'm so scared that I'm speaking on by myself.
Wow.
Okay,
Okay.
right. So by the way, my name is Sharfah Sahal Abdul Karim. These are some of my credentials. Okay, I was an engineer and then I had MBA. I'm taking TESOL, but I still haven't finished my assignment, so I still haven't got that diploma. Okay, and then I'm also an HRDF certified trainer. I'm a BLF, I'm a VLC, and I'm also doing NLP. All right. So now before we proceed any further, I just like to share with you my experience in my secondary school. Okay, this is where I studied in my high school. So I just like to share with my experience with English. Okay, so when I was in Form 1, my English teacher, her name is Puan Wan. Okay, she's a very kind lady. She's a very supportive teacher. But the thing is, I'm so scared of her. I'm so scared that I have to speak English with her. I tried to avoid her. And then, whenever I met her, it was just like, it's like I just don't know how to describe it, but I was too scared of her and I just avoided her because I don't want to look silly by speaking the wrong words, by not knowing what word to say. And then, that's my first experience, okay, of the English language. Okay, but the thing is, Alhamdulillah, I managed to get an A in my SPM. But the thing is, like, sometimes what you get in your exam doesn't reflect how your ability to speak the language. Okay, but okay, so that is my high school story. Okay, and then later I got the opportunity to study abroad. Okay, I was a student in two universities. One is University of Denver, Colorado, and then the other one is University of Portland, Oregon. Okay. So in this University of Portland, there's a fellow Malaysian student, okay, who excel in his studies. Okay, he always got cum laude, sigma cum laude, and all that because that's similar to our dean's list here. Every semester without fail, he would get that. Okay. The only issue with him is that he spoke Malaysian English. Okay, just imagine you in that situation. Okay, you watch him speaking English, all the las, all the hayas, all the Malaysian Manglish words all come up from him. Okay, and then the thing is, the American students kowtow to him. Why? Because they wanted to learn from this guy. Okay, just imagine. So that's one of the lesson learned for me is that you can have you may not be able to speak English well, but if you get that substance, if you get what people are looking for, they will still listen to you, they will still respect you. Okay, another experience, my experience of not yet. Another of my experience in the US is that the Americans, they don't care how good your English is. In fact, they would just support you. Okay, they would support you and then they will just listen to you properly. They will not make fun of you. So that is my other experience with regards to English language when I was in America. Okay, right. So this is a question for you. Okay, this is a question. Do you think English is important? Okay, for those who are here in Zoom, can you share with me whether you think English is important? Type yes, type Y if you think that it's important, type N if you think that it's not important.
I think it's important because
Okay, all right,
business
thank
will
you.
be done in English.
Okay, thank you, Mr. John. Okay, I cannot read your comment in Facebook, but maybe Swaila can help me with that. Okay, if so, you just tell me yes, why if it's important, and no if it's not important. Okay, anybody else? Okay, so I take it as a yes. Yeah. Okay, now, for those who think that English is important, can you can you tell me what opportunities would you get if you're able to speak English well? If you're able to speak English with confidence, and if you speak English fluently, okay, what opportunities would you get? Can you share with me?
Can I share?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Yes, yes, Sheila.
Well, I find most definitely if you speak well, one, you get noticed in, at work. Bosses would definitely, um, I guess, not so much pay attention. They would definitely realize, let's say you're able to speak during meetings, you're able to voice your opinions, ideas, etc.
Mhm.
Also, if you speak well, there's a level of confidence which is so much higher.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Mhm.
uh, and also, it's a lot easier. And when you speak, I find that there's a certain level of respect from people as well, especially now. To find someone who is proficient in the language is kind of rare. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with that. Okay, of course, if you're able to speak English, all right, able to speak English well, you'll get noticed. Okay, so you will have you know they will push you to speak in a meeting. They will push you to give presentation and all that, and you gain more confidence and confidence and respect from people. Totally agree with that. Okay, anybody else? Okay, so I guess that you're writing in the text chat or in the comment. Okay, so let me just proceed. So I'm gonna add to what Madam Sheila has mentioned. Okay, so you're able to communicate with people not only in our own country. You are able to communicate with people out of our country. You're able to have friends all over the world, right? And you can all over the world you're able to communicate. All right. And then the next thing is you can travel abroad. Of course, not now because of the COVID-19. Okay, you have opportunities to work abroad. Okay, I have actually a student who enrolled in my class because she plans to work abroad. Okay, okay, and another thing, language is an international lingua franca. So you still need to learn the language if you want to progress in your career. Okay, and okay, and then when you learn language, okay, you inevitably you will also learn the culture. You are also able to express yourself. You also be able to listen to people's opinion, right? So with that with that kind of understanding, you never know, maybe you increase your marriage prospect from people out of our own country, from people out of our culture, right? Isn't that nice? Okay, now when you talk about learning language, okay, the how and the what comes later. Okay, the most important thing is the why. Why do you do what you do? Why do you want to learn the language? Okay, you must know that first. Okay, this one is inspired from Simon Sinek. He has an international bestseller book called Start with Why. Why do you do? What's the purpose of to learn the language? In fact, to do anything that you want to do, what is the purpose? You must know why. Okay, because learning language is not an easy task. Okay, you will face a lot of trial, a lot of errors, challenges, and all that. So if you don't know your real why, okay, you will stop. Okay, you will stop when you face any a challenging situation, you will just stop that learning. Okay, so if you have a very strong why, no matter how difficult that that situation is, no matter how hard that task you are given, okay, you will still bulldoze your way and you will succeed. Okay, so doing anything, even when you learn language, you must know why. Okay. Okay, as I said just now, learning language is a journey. Okay, so don't make it into a destination, because once you feel that you have reached that destination, you will cease that learning. Okay, you don't want to do that. All right, because if you do that, if you stop learning, well, if you make it into a destination, you will just stop learning. Okay, that's one fact that I want to tell you. English language, one English word is produced every 98 minutes. Okay, just imagine if you stop that learning process, okay, you'll be left behind. Okay, so can anyone tell me what is the new word that is produced this year? Let me check the chat. I may have missed a lot of chat. Okay, can you tell me if anyone can tell me what new word that is produced this year? Okay. Oh, I didn't read your. Okay, thank you. Let me just read the comment for a while. Okay, everyone. Oh, everyone says yes in FE. Okay, work in MNC firms are internationally now. Opportunities limited to English, this language. Okay, thank you, John. Anna Sophia said I can search many information. Okay, very good. Okay, what else? We are able to pivot. Yes. Okay. Freegan, yes, freegan. Okay, so Saiful, can you tell me what freegan means?
Vegan is also a, a portmanteau that combines the word feel free and vegan.
Yes, yeah, free and vegan. So yeah, so free. They want the food for free, and they are vegans, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, anyone else? Okay, anyone has come across a new word this year? How about our pandemic? We have never heard of our, this pandemic before this year, right? So COVID-19 is also a word, a new word now. Okay,
Yeah.
it's from yes, what? Yes, Swaila.
Diana in Facebook kata COVID.
Yes, COVID, right?
Yes, yes.
COVID. Yes, COVID is a new word produced this year. It's coined that word is coined by who? By who? By who? World Health Organization. Okay, this year. Corona virus disease 2019. So that's how the short form of that is COVID-19. Right. How about this word? What is this word? That relates to our phone. Now we cannot live without our phone, right? Okay, there's a word called nomophobia. Have you come across that word? No phone phobia or something like that. So you cannot really, you have like some sort of like a fear of not having internet, not having internet access, right? So those are some of the new words that's produced this year. So if you make it into a destination, you will stop your learning process. That's quite sad, isn't it? So you have to make it a journey. It never ends, right? It never ends. This journey will never end. But once you are in the journey, just make sure that you have fun. Okay, make sure that you have fun, so that when you have fun, you will not be so stressful learning. All right. Yes, nomophobia.
There's more. IoT. In the Facebook, it says IoT, new norm.
IoT. Okay, what is
Yes.
that? That's a new word for me.
IoT is Internet of Things.
Oh, Internet of Things.
New norm. Yes, new norm.
Yes,
Memang
exactly.
word.
Yes. So just imagine every 98 minutes, a new word is created. All right. Okay. So I'm going to continue. Right. Okay. Okay. For those who still haven't used English in your communication, you might have problems speaking English language, right? Can you share what on the text chat or comment the reasons why you do not use English in communication? Okay, can you please share the reasons why you do not use English? You can write in English, you can write in Malay, no problem. Why you don't use English in communication? Okay, any comment on that? For those who still haven't used English, or even for those who have used English, if you know anyone who's too scared of using English, do you know the reason why they do not use English in communication?
For everyone in the studio speaks and write English.
Okay. Okay.
People
All
like
right.
to tackle.
Okay, so maybe you know you haven't come across the people who okay lah. So all right, fair enough. Yeah, because when I in you know when I do programs, they have you know there are a lot of people who are too scared to use English, so that's why they attend my programs, right? So they have a lot of reasons. Okay, they have a lot of reasons. They're too scared that they make mistakes. Okay, too scared that they use the wrong grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, and all that. And so even some of them they are scared because they you know they don't want people to laugh at them, to you know to make fun of them.
There's one in FB says that semua kawan dia adalah Melayu.
Semua
Muhammad
kawan
Said says semua
Melayu.
kawan dia Melayu.
Semua
Then
kawan Melayu.
in the
Okay.
chat says people like to hacker pronunciation
Okay.
inflection, afraid
Okay.
people don't understand.
Okay, people don't understand. Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Let me just hold on for, to that for a while. Okay. Let me just proceed. Okay. Okay. Now, can you tell me what is this picture about? Anyone wants to fear? Okay. So many people say fear here. Okay. Fear of something, right? Okay. So the thing is, what is it that we are afraid of? Okay, so from the picture there is just shadow, but is it justified? Okay, so is that fear justified? Okay, so the fear, there are actually two types. Okay, one is called instinctive fear, okay, and then the other one is called psychological fear. Instinctive fear is a real fear when you are faced with a real threat, real, life and death situation. That is real fear. Okay, and it's called instinctive fear. The other one is psychological fear. Okay, it's something that may or may not happen. Okay, so but the thing is that psychological fear only cause you to worry, only cause you to be stressful. Okay, so now you look back, ask yourself the reasons why you don't use English. So is that instinctive fear or is that psychological fear? Okay, if it's instinctive fear, okay, stop, don't speak English anymore. So you might, you might die from it. By speaking English, you might die. So that is instinctive fear. Right, but you never heard of that, right? You never heard, in the news saying, oh, somebody died because because he tried to speak English. You've never heard of that ever, right? So all the fear that make people not speaking English, they are all only psychological fear, right? So this is psychological fear, false evidence appearing real. Right, so you have to free yourself from this situation. Okay, so let's say for example, your boss asks from your team to present on a new project. Okay, So among all in the team, you are the most, you are the person who know most of the project. You are the most qualified person to do the presentation for that. But the only problem is that you are lacking in terms of your, of your English language. All right. So you are, you are too scared to present. You want to raise your hand, but then in your mind, you are, you have this question: should I do it? Should I not? Okay. But the thing is, if you just do it, you will not only improve your English, but you will also gain credibility in your company. That's a risk worth taking, isn't it? So when you are faced this kind of situation, do you there's a moment when you have to make a choice. Do you move into that challenge and try to speak English and trust that you'll be okay? Or you just avoid that situation totally? Right? That is your choice. So how do we overcome that unjustified fear? Number one, you have to acknowledge your fear. You have to face that fear. Okay, you have to face that fear. Number two, you need to imagine that desired outcome. And the last one, but the most importantly, is to take action. Okay. Now, I'm going to share with you some fun facts. Are you ready? Okay. Type yes if you are, type no if you are not. Okay. I think mostly afraid of using grammar correctly. My point of view, communication is certainly developing skill that speak as long as both parties. Yes, true. I totally agree with, who's that again? Farizan? Yes, Encik Farizan. Okay. Yes, language is only a skill. It's only a skill. Okay. It's a medium of communication. Don't make it too complicated. Okay. You worry too much. Okay. You worry too much of not speaking correctly, because as I said just now, it's a learning process. If you know you make mistakes, okay, learn from it. Okay. Don't avoid it totally. Oh, hi Didi. Thank you for joining. Right. Okay. So, so you want to know the fun facts, right? I just want to make sure that you are here. Right. Okay. Now I'm going to share these figures. What are all these figures? Okay. Let me share the top one. The top one, 1,022,000, is the minimum number of English words. Okay. Don't bother to memorize all of them, because you will never able to do that. As I said just now, every 98 minutes, there's a new word created. So don't bother. Okay, what is 20,000? 20,000 is the number of words a Native American knows. And that Native American would use about 7,500 words per day. Okay, and 2,500 is the most used words, is the high frequency words. Okay, I'd like to share with you another interesting fact. Okay, are you familiar with this one? Pareto's law. Okay, according to an Italian economist, his name is Vilfredo Pareto. Okay, 80% of the input will produce 20% of output, and vice versa, 20% of input will produce 80% of the output. Okay, so this principle was originally studied by this Pareto. Okay, he said that 80% of the wealth in Italy was owned by 20% of the people there. Okay, 80% of the wealth is owned by 20% of the people. Okay. This can also be applied to nearly anything in our life, including 80% of our sales come from 20% of our customer. 80% of our happiness come from 20% of our family and friends. Similarly, 20% of our learning will produce 80% of our understanding of the language. Right? So this number, well, it may be debated, but it can use that logical concept, right? Okay, so you want to learn, okay, remember just now I said that about 2,500 the high frequency words. So these are some of them. So if you know the high frequency words, right? So you'll be able to have a decent English communication. Okay, so you don't have to remember all the millions of words because it will not be very helpful in fact. Right. Okay, another interesting thing, this is even better. Linguists experts have found that on average, a person needs to know only 2%, not even 20%, and you can speak in any language, not only English, to understand 90% of that, 95% of that language. That's even a better news, isn't it? So you don't, as I said just now, you only have to know the words that you need to know. The high frequency words, not all. You don't have to memorize the dictionary. Don't ever do that. Right? So just need to know the words that you will need to use. And that is all. Okay, now what you do is whenever you come across a new word, okay, so find out the meaning and the pronunciation and start using it. Okay, so that's the only thing that you need to do. All right, so now we're going to do a little bit of game here. Okay, are you all ready? Okay, ready? Okay, thank you. Now, okay, what I want you all to do is I'm going to show you some words. Okay, just okay, just have a look at these words. Okay, who can tell me the meaning and the pronunciation of these words? Who wants to try?
You can unmute yourself and
Yes, please unmute yourself. And for those who are in the FB Live, you can just type the meaning. For those in on Zoom, you can also unmute yourself and tell us how to pronounce. Just select some of the words and tell us how to pronounce these words. Anyone wants to try?
I'll go. Wound.
Okay, Shafina, thank you. Wound.
A cut in your on your body.
Yes, a cut on your body, like injury, right? Wound. Very good, Shafina. Thank you. Okay, wound. Okay, good. Okay, anyone else?
W-O-U-N-D can also be pronounced as wound, to wind it around.
Okay, who's that? John, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, say that again, please, John. I didn't get what you were saying. Again?
Wound around. The past tense of wind it around.
Yes. Wound can also be pronounced as wound, but it's a different thing. Okay, it's when you okay. For example, like this is my phone, right? Okay, this is my phone. What I'm doing now. Okay, I am actually winding this around my phone. Can you see that? This is wind. Okay, let me just do some annotation here so that I know which one I have done. Okay, like we have okay, this is wound, right? Wound. Shafina said wound, okay, this injury. Wound is the past tense of wind. No, past tense of wind. Now I'm confusing myself. All right, so past tense of wind. Okay, so what I'm doing here now is I'm winding this. Okay, I'm winding this around my phone. Right. Of course, most people will know this as wind. We know wind. Okay, many people know this as wind, but it's also wind. And the past tense of wind is wound. Right? And this wound can also be pronounced as wound, which means injury, cut on your body, as what Shafina has mentioned. Okay, thank you. All right, so anyone else want to try? Okay. We will
Hi. Okay, let me try. My name is Nora.
Yes, Nora.
Okay, MINUTE. It can be minute
Yes.
and it can also be minute.
Very good.
Minute means extremely small. Minute as if like the duration of time. 2 minutes,
Yes.
3 minutes.
True. Very good. Okay. So here we will. This one is minute, right? So is a measurement for time. Is also a measurement for angle, but it can also be pronounced as minute, which means small, too small, right? Okay. Anyone else? Thank you, Nora. Okay, now I can relate this minute to this one. Fine. Okay, so fine. Everybody would use this whenever people ask you, how are you? I'm fine, thank you, right? But this fine has several meanings. Okay, number one, fine is, okay, if you go to Singapore, you don't like to get fined, right? Right, you don't want to get fined. Or even if you go out of the border, okay, you're not supposed to go, during MCO. Okay, if you do that, you also get fined. Right, so you don't want to do that. Okay, fine can also means like fine dress, fine gentleman, fine lady, right? Okay, so we can also relate this to minute. Fine can also means too small, right? Okay, how about this? Okay, how about this? The one that I put in a box. Okay, how about this? They all look like they should be pronounced the same because they end with the same letters, right? O-U-G-H. But actually, they are all pronounced differently. 4 words, 4 different pronunciation. Okay, how do I pronounce this one? D-O-U-G-H. Dough. Right, when we make bread, right? We have to make dough first. How about this one? T-H-R-O-U-G-H.
True. Go.
Yes, true. True. All right, this one in pink.
Cough.
Cough. Okay, thank you. And the last one, R-O-U-G-H.
Rough.
Rough. Right. So all these, although all of them end with O-U-G-H, the pronunciation are all different. Dough, through, cough, and rough. Right? Okay, this one, last one. This. Okay. This one, almost all of my student, pronounce this as cooled. Okay, so this word you should not pronounce. The L is silent. Okay, so you should pronounce this as could. Okay, there's no L sound. All right. So from here, okay, what I'm trying to tell you is that English is not a phonetic language. Okay, it is not pronounced as how it is spelled. Right? So you need to know the whole word for you to know the meaning and also the pronunciation. Okay? Okay, oops, let me just clear this. Right, okay. So how can we improve? Okay, number one, we can make our own dictionary. Okay, how do we do that? Okay, don't bother to read. Well, you can use a dictionary that, that take book for you to refer if you come across any words that you don't understand. But for you to be able to understand certain words that you have come across, what you do is you make your own dictionary. Okay, so let's say you have come across a word, okay, which you are not sure. Okay, Faris waited outside the director's office with great trepidation. Okay, so what do we do when you find a word which we haven't seen before? What you do is, number one, find the meaning. Okay, it's a feeling of fear or anxiety about something that may happen. Okay, that is the meaning of trepidation. Okay, and if you want, you can also write it in BM or whatever language that your first language. Okay, but one thing that I would also recommend is write down how it is pronounced. Okay, you don't need to use that phonetic symbol because not all of us take English. Not all of us. We take English course, right? So we are not linguists. Okay, we just want to learn the language to enable us to communicate, right? So what I normally do, this is what I did when I was in high school. Okay, so I will write the word, I will write how it is pronounced, I will write the meaning in Malay or in English. Okay, and most also important is write it in the sentence form so that you be able to use the word. Okay, so it's no point for you to understand the meaning but you can't use it. All right, any questions so far on this? Okay, all of you here are experts in English, right? English is weird. Yes, I agree. Totally agree. Yes. So that's why if sometimes we just have to make to set our mindset. English is true is weird, but just have fun with it. Okay, so you just have to play around with your family or your friend and just just make just have fun with it. Then you will enjoy the journey. Okay, how many of you have watched this? Last Saturday, English English. How many of you?
Watch halfway.
Halfway.
Towards the end already.
Towards the end, yeah. Yes. Okay, so this is a story, okay, acted by Sri Devi. Too bad that she's gone, okay, but she was a very good actress. Okay, so in this movie, her character was named Sashi. Okay, so she's a homemaker who who sells ladu for her small business. Okay, but the thing is like her family always ridicule her because of her poor command of English, right? So they treat her with disrespect, okay, and then lots of things which hurt her. Okay, so what happened? Her sister, okay, who's based in New York, is arranging a wedding for her daughter. So her sister invites Sashi, this lady, to New York to help her manage the wedding, to help her arrange a wedding. So she is there for 5 weeks. Okay, so within whenever during her free time, at one point she saw she sees advertisement. Okay, learn English for 4 weeks. Okay, so she thinks that that's a good opportunity for her to improve her English. So she secretly joined that class. Okay, so one of the scene in the movie is that she comes late for the movie. Okay, so before entering her class, she asked the instructor, "Can I come in?" Okay, so her instructor's response is that, "Oh, you can come in. The door is big enough for you to enter." Right? Okay, so but what the instructor tells her further is that you should say, instead of saying "Can I come in?" okay, say "May I come in?" Okay, "May I come in?" specifically asking for permission.
Can I come in?
Yes, "Can I come in?" means can means possibility for you. It has another meaning. Can I come in? That means according to the instructor, oh, the door is big enough. You can come in if you want to. So the right way of saying is that "May I come in?" Yeah. Right. So okay, another scene in the movie is that she also while she's in New York, she also watches movies, right? So what she does is that whenever she come across a new word, okay, she would look in the dictionary or she would just ask her niece on the meaning. So learning is not only is not only through books. Okay, they are all around you. If you really want it, okay, the world is your university, right? So you can learn anywhere. You can even learn from watching Hindi movies. Right?
Right.
Okay. Okay. Sometimes, even when you use dictionary, you'll find difficulty in understanding that word. Right? Okay, I'm going to give you an example here. A woman shoots her husband. Okay? The police sees the incident, but then she's not arrested. How can this be? Okay, anyone wants to try? Why is that lady not arrested? Okay. Why
Guna
is that
pistol
lady?
air.
Say again?
Guna pistol air.
Pistol air. Police sees the incident. Oh, itu pun shoot juga kan? Good response, Saiful. Thank you for that. Okay, a woman shoots her husband dengan pistol air. Memanglah tak kan? Okay, anybody else want to try? Okay, let me just give you a clue. Okay, the clue is in this word. Shoot. Okay, anybody? Shoot dengan pistol air, shoot juga kan? But then it's not a crime. Okay, now let's look at this word, shoot. Okay, what is this man doing? He is shooting, right? What is he using? He's using a gun, right? Is there another meaning of the word shoot? Anyone wants to try? Movie shooting, very good. Take a picture, Diana. Thank you. They've got so many other. Okay, I don't have movie shooting here. Okay, thank you for that. Take a picture, Didi. Yes, exactly here. Take a picture. He is also shooting, but he's using a camera. That's not a crime, right? Okay, is there another meaning of the word shoot? Okay, as I correctly mentioned, movie shooting. Okay, very good.
Saying something to the person?
Say again?
Saying something to the person?
Say something to the person. He shoots. Yes, that's also shoot, right? But that is more like informal, right, Shafina? Yes. Okay. And then this one is also shoot, right? He's shooting a ball, right? It's also shoot. Okay. Any other meaning of the word shoot? How about this? This is plant shoot, right? See, the same word shoot, it has so many meanings. So how do you know what is the meaning? You have to look at the sentence. You have to look at the paragraph. You have to look even the whole text for you to understand the meaning of the word.
Sometimes, sorry, sometimes
Yeah,
people always say, if you want to ask question, shoot your question now.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. As I think someone has mentioned, the Shapina, right? Shapina has mentioned.
Oh,
Yes.
really? Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that. Sorry, Shafina.
Yes. Yes. So it's not limited, not even limited to what I've shown here. Okay, has Didi mentioned take picture. Okay, and then us mention movie shooting. I don't even have it in my slide here. And Shapina, look at the context. Exactly. You have to look at the context for you to even understand. Okay, so now the woman shoots her husband. Police sees the incident, but the woman is not arrested. Why? Because she shoots her husband with a camera. He takes his picture, right? So that's not a crime. So there's no reason why the police should arrest her. Okay, now let's say, okay, words can have multiple meanings, as what we have already seen just now. Okay, now I'm going to show you this word. Okay, just this word. Who can tell me the meaning of this word? The meaning of this word. Bukan singa ya.
Sorry, singa pula.
Bukan singa. This is an English word. Anyone wants to try? Don't look in the dictionary yet. You just have to look at this only. Anyone has a clue on what this word is and the meaning? Okay, so I guess that maybe none of you, maybe you're not sure what it is. Okay, now if I do it in a sentence like this, would you be able to guess what that word means? The curling iron was so
Burnt
hot
hair?
that Martha singed her hair when she tried using it.
Burnt?
Yes. Diana, singe. Okay, burnt. Yes, burnt. That's exactly the meaning of this word. Singe. Okay, the clue here is in this word, hot. What happened when a hot iron touches her hair? Of course, it will get burnt. Okay, this actually is slightly burnt. Right? So you can guess the meaning of the word. You don't have to look at the word. If you don't understand the word, you know, you have to refer to the dictionary every time. No, that will get, you know, that will only make your learning, language learning so boring, isn't it? All right. So what you do is some of the words you can guess. You have to look at the context. Okay, as Shafinas has mentioned just now. Okay, so all right, so I think that is the end of my presentation. Later, I'm just going to show you my my testimonials of the programs that I have done. So, you have any question before I proceed to share the my clients, what they think of the program? Okay, any questions so far? Okay, so what have you learned today? Can you share with me what you have learned today? Okay, what's your takeaway from my sharing? If you can just share with me, what is your takeaway? English can be learned, yes. Yes, English can be learned. Okay, it's not like you are born. Okay, when you're born, you're straight away you're able to speak English well. No, even our native language, right? Our native language, we still, it's a learning process. When we were small, we make lots of mistakes, but the thing is, we don't feel intimidated by the mistakes. We just bulldoze, right? Even if people laugh at the way the way we spoke at that time, we also laugh together with them. So we will not get depressed, we will not get upset, right? Just because our bahasa Melayu is not good, we just laugh together with them. So it's not something that we are so scared of. So just make it fun, okay? So English can be learned, okay? Same words carries different meaning depending on the context. Yes, Shafina, thank you. So you have just to look at the context to know the actual meaning of the word. No need to memorize the dictionary. Don't ever do that. Don't memorize the dictionary. In fact, instead you make your own dictionary. Whenever you come across a new word, okay, put it down in a journal or in whatever form that is comfortable to you. Okay, put it down and then just make sure that you know how it is pronounced, you know the meaning, and then have a sentence, sample sentence, so that you know how to use those words. Okay, don't be self-conscious. Speak, practice, guess meaning at the context of the sentence. Thank you for that, John. Don't be self-conscious. Yes, still speak, even if you speak wrongly, because nobody will learn without making mistakes. No one. Okay, if you're scared of making mistakes and you stop speaking, okay, that means you also stop that learning process. Guess meaning in the context of the sentence. Thank you. Just speak, practice makes perfect. Okay, or some of my friends said practice makes fluent. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to share with you. Okay, for information, I also do English programs for organizations, for public. Okay, Suhaila, yes, belasah aja, even though grammar salah. True. Okay, even though your grammar is wrong, belasah saja. Okay, kalau tak belasah, you will never learn. I can assure you. You just need to not scared of making mistakes. Belasah saja, as Suhaila correctly mentioned. Okay. Okay, continue what I was saying just now. I also do English for organizations. Okay, I also do English for public. So let me share with you some of my testimonials of the programs that I do. Okay, so this one, hang on. Okay, so these two of my clients. Okay, Amirul, he's still my student. Okay, I planned for 3 months, but he wants to extend the class. Okay, and then the other one, Siti Rosmizi, she's a school teacher. She has been with me since the first time I conducted the class back in 2007. Okay, she has been my student even until now. But now we don't have like a formal class, but whenever she has a problem, she would just ask me. So she from a science teacher without any at that time she was not even able to speak English. Now she teaches English class. Okay, just imagine that. And at one time she was able. At one time when her superior passed by her class, the superior was quite amazed when he saw teacher Rosmizi. She was teaching the class in English, right? So that's how far she has gone, right? Okay, so these are two of my corporate clients. Okay, one is LHDN in HQ. Okay, and the other one is FELDA, Effective English Communication and Workplace. All right. Okay, and these are my public programs. They are teacher, and then the other one is a private nurse. Okay, she's the one who plans to go abroad to work. I think in Dubai, in Arab Saudi. I'm not so sure. She mentioned, but I forgot. Okay, so so these people who has taken like a long, not short-term course. Okay, with them it was 3 months. Okay, Madam Shamila, the teacher in Sabah, she has taken twice. Okay, 3 months course twice. Okay, twice with me. Okay, so I want to play the video, but you want to hear the video.
Kelas, saya bersama dengan Madam Sharifah Salwa as my teacher. So dia memang seorang guru yang baik, dan dalam kelas ini dia adalah salah satunya mentor dan pembimbing yang very wonderful teacher. She is very wonderful teacher, I thought. And then memang enjoyable lah. Very learn from the basic, and then
Alhamdulillah, selepas 12 minggu menghadiri kelas English online ini, pemahaman saya mengenai grammar lebih baik.
Okay, so this is another of my student, Encik Omar Razif. He's from ESQ. And then Madam Anita, she's a teacher in Keluang.
Assalamualaikum.
Okay, so that is all from me. Thank you very much for your attention. Any question? I'm open to question now. Okay,
Any questions? Any questions?
Any questions from the floor?
Yes, feel free to ask. On FB ni, if they were saying that it's a good, very good session. Thank you so much, Sawa.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah.
Cepat sangat lah 1 jam.
Kan, tak sempat.
No, I was like, dah habis.
Dah lah banyak vocab belajar ni.
Yeah, I said just now, you cannot, how can we learn English in 1 hour? So this one, what I'm sharing is that something that it's just the gist of what I teach. So if you go, if you take that long-term class, we will zoom in into each one.
Usually, how long does the course take?
How long is
the duration of the course? The duration of the course.
Okay. As I said, learning is a journey. It's never a destination. Okay, so what I normally do is I give for my public program, I do 3 months program. Okay, I do 3 months program. Okay, and then okay, so they will, and then after that it depends on them if they want to continue, because if they want to continue, okay, I will be opening another session. Okay, so it depends on them. So 3 months first is like 3 months. Okay, so I'll be giving them phrases. I'll be teaching them grammar and all that. And most important thing is that I'll be guiding them to be more confident speaking. So that's what I do. Because some of them, they cannot even speak. Okay, unlike you all are all so terrible already like speaking English. The people who enroll with me, they cannot even, some of them, they cannot even speak a word of English. So one of the my participants just now actually in the testimony is that the first time I met, he cannot even say the word correctly. Okay, but then of course, I wouldn't say now that my student after 2 months are able to speak correctly. But as I said, they will still refer to me. Okay, whenever they come across any new words or any new phrases, they still come back to me for if they have any questions. So it's never a destination. If just I ask me how long for them to be proficient, I cannot answer that.
Okay. Any unforgettable moments throughout the years of teaching English yang very memorable to you?
Is that you asking me the question?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, my memorable moment. Okay, this is one thing that that really stick in my mind. Okay, so I was speaking. This is back in America. As I said, pronunciation, right? Pronunciation. Okay, let me just write it here. Okay, how do you pronounce this word? Hang on. How do you pronounce this word? I will just write it here. Okay, how do you pronounce this word?
What's the word?
Present.
Oh,
Present.
Can you see the word?
Yeah.
Can you see? Okay, how do you pronounce that word?
It's a present.
Present.
Christmas present. I present
It's a
this
present,
to you.
right? But it can also be present also, right? Present also,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. But then when we
Present.
when we have it in this form, how do you pronounce this?
Presentation.
Yes, presentation. Okay. If this one is from the word present, right? Present. But when it becomes a noun like this, it becomes presentation. Okay, the stress is on the different syllable. The pronunciation is different. Okay, this is what happened when I was in the US. I thought, I was speaking to one Mak Saleh. He said, I want to give you a presentation. Then he asked me, excuse me, a number of times. Then I realized that, it should be presentation, not presentation. That is one thing that, stick in my mind. Another
Awesome.
thing, another interesting thing. I've got so many. Okay, I was with my host family. That time was I think we were about to celebrate Christmas or something like that. I cannot remember the time when it happened. But my host family, her name is Linda. She was baking a cake. So I asked her for the recipe. Okay, Okay, how do you make this cake? Oh, you have to use how many kilograms of flour, you have to use how many kilograms of sugar and butter and all that. So excuse me, you use flour to make cake? So I thought that it's flower as in bunga, so that really, I didn't even know, I was just amazed. How can we make flour? I didn't even ask her at that time. But when I come back and I started doing English, then only I realized, flour is how they pronounce our flour. We pronounce it as flour, right?
Flower, yeah.
Only recently we also pronounce it as flour, right? But before that, many years ago, okay. So the Americans pronounce it as flour. Okay. So but then that I did, so that's another, memory.
Kadang-kadang kita sebut flower is flower. Fla is fla.
Yes, because the pronunciation of flower as in bunga and flower as in tepung, they are the same for the Americans. So how can we tell? Right. And then at that time I thought I was so naive. So I thought, oh, maybe we can make we can use flour to make cakes. So stupid at that time.
Ada question ni from FB Sawa.
Sure.
Nurul ask question, yes. Dia kata, what is the best way to start learning English pronunciation?
Okay. What is the best way to start learning English pronunciation by Nurul? Okay, thank you Nurul for that. Okay, the best way to learn the pronunciation, this. You always have this, right? 24 hours, 24/7, we have this, right? So what I do, I still do this, okay? So let's say, give me a word. Give me a word, okay? Let's say, let's say lah, wound, right? Wound. Let me just, okay. What I do, okay, for example, wound, right? So what I do is, I don't use Google Translate because it will not be very helpful for you to acquire the language. If you are the beginner, yes, you can use Google Translate. But when you are, when you are able to already use the language, or even in the basic level, use Google. Okay, don't use Google Translate.
Okay, how do you pronounce this? Audience. AUDIENCE.
Audience, isn't it?
There are people who pronounce it as audience.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's why I would suggest you listen to the pronunciation. Okay. What I do is I would normally what I do is let's say audience, right? So audience, that I type meaning. I don't know whether you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So here, what I do here, I type audience meaning. Right. Audience, then type meaning. Okay. So what I get here is, you see that, can you see? Or maybe I share here lah. Okay, maybe I share here. I go to, let's just Google here. Okay, can I stop share here, and
sure.
I'm going to Google the word. Hang on. Because this is what I do. Because not, as I said, you cannot guess the pronunciation of the word just by looking at the spelling. You cannot. It will not be helpful at all. Because English is actually a melting pot of words which come from all over the world. Even they have, even they use a Malay word for our, Malay word and make it into English. Hang on, let me share this, share screen. Okay, Google. Okay, so this, can you see my Google?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's say audience, right? Okay, so this is what I normally do. Audience, okay, so meaning. Okay, so you get here, you see this,
yeah.
You see that? So what you do is you just press.
Audience.
Can you see that? Can you hear that? Can you hear?
Yeah, can.
Audience.
Audience. If you want it to, if you want to hear the pronunciation slowly, okay, learn to pronounce. Okay, press learn to pronounce. Okay, they have even the phonetic for that, and you can listen.
Audience.
Can you hear? Can you? Okay, or you want it slow, just press here. Okay.
Audience.
See, audience. You see, I still use this. For your information, I still use this. Because sometimes although we make, let's say let's say if I said audience, right? And then we see people look at us like funny, what is audience? So So what we do is we double check ourselves, because as I said, we have to improve ourselves. We constantly improve ourselves. Learning is a journey, right? So this is one way that I do, just to make sure that we pronounce the word correctly. Okay, Nurul, am I answering your question, Nurul?
Yes, Atu. She's in FB.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Nurul, for the question.
Oh, she said she used Google Voice on my phone and they can Google correctly what I said.
Yes.
I have pronounced it correctly. Yes. Nanti tak
Correct.
macam
So
ni
we
Kak
have this
Salwa.
24/7. So make full use of this. This is a very good English teacher.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Starting from today.
Yes. Okay, so British English and American English, different pronunciation, exactly.
Yes.
Yes. British and English, British and American. But then the funny thing is that they can understand each other. Okay, you don't even talk about Australian English.
Yeah.
Right, they are all different. The pronunciation is different. The stress, the intonation, they're all different. But can they understand each other? Yes, they can. Yes. Yeah. So to me, we don't. This is just my opinion. Okay, so you might agree with me, you might not be. You might not agree with me. So we just have to, accept it. Okay, American English is like this, British English is like this. So even sometimes, because we Malaysian, sometimes we mix. Right? Sometimes we use Malaysian English. Sometimes we use American English. Sometimes we use British. Sometimes we use, Australian. So just use whatever that's comfortable to you, as long as it doesn't stop you from speaking the language. Okay, as I've mentioned, I've worked with British. So just say out. The thing is, they are able to understand. Remember, English is only a medium of communication. Okay, so some people think that English only show prestige and all that. Okay, so if you do that, you're only blocking yourself. That's why you feel scared to make mistake, right? Because you feel that English is a language of prestige. You have to speak like Queen's English. Because in my opinion, that will just stop you from using the language, right? That is just my opinion. You may agree, you may not agree. Okay, any other question? Thank you.
The meaning.
Any more questions, Suhaila?
Ada dah. From FB, no. Everybody saying thank you, good teacher. Good teacher. Teacher Salwa, they said.
Thank you everyone for spending your 1 hour with me. I really appreciate that. I hope that maybe I know many of you are already proficient in English. Many of you are using English. So so I don't know how much we learned from my session here, but I still hope that if it's not a lot, I hope that you have benefit even a little, and maybe you can just share what I am sharing here with someone who's not proficient, someone who's too scared of using the language. Okay, so maybe you can share this with them, so that I can give if not a big impact to them, I give like a little impact, so that they will improve in their communication, they will also improve in their at their workplace.